Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Naval Dreadnoughts. It's been a long time. I've not been very well, and the Christmas holidays and things like that interrupted things. But we're back, possibly with a very, very short campaign, but I'll try my best. I'm going to try playing as Korea in Dip Extended. Now, I am playing on Dip Extended 1.3.4, the internal testing version. 1.3.4 has been delayed because UAD is made of spaghetti and jelly, and trying to do anything is incredibly difficult. But the what are they called? The pre-design file is being generated at the moment. I do not have access to it currently. That's why I'm stuck on bespoke. But that is a priority to get that out before 1.3.4 is released, because yeah, that will dramatically improve performance. Tons of stuff done by the Duke, tons of stuff done by Rocket, and a little bit by me as well. But I'll talk about that when it comes up. Most of it will be very familiar to those of you who watched the Danish or Greek campaigns. Right, so we're going to go 1890, as is traditional. We're going to go normal, bespoke, historical, create own, shared design. Always, there are some shared designs from viewers in here. There are also some shared designs that I put in for the British, so the British should have access to some decent ships. Anyway, I'm going to hit start campaign, and then I'm going to go and play another game for an hour or two, and I will be back once all of that is completed. Okie dokie. Campaign generated. Let's see what we're dealing with. So, Britain up at the top, unsurprisingly, 6 battleships, 10 armoured cruisers, 14 protected cruisers, and 13 torpedo boats. It's surprisingly sensible. 5 battleships, pretty common. Let's look around. What are we looking at? We have a grand total of 4 provinces. We need to make sure we don't get on the bad side of Russia or China too early, because we share a land border with both. There's a tiny little bit right here the Russians can attack through, which is bad. Obviously, we don't want to be at war with someone who can blockade us. That would be very bad as well. And the most likely person to do that, or most likely player to do that, is Japan. So, what's our political situation? Yes, we have positive relations with everybody except China and Japan. So let's improve relations with Japan first of all. So Japan has 10 armoured cruisers and 5 light cruisers. And did I say Japan? Or no, China has that. And Japan has 3 heavy cruisers and 7 protected cruisers, or armoured and protected, heavy and light, whatever you want to think. Okay, we have very little in the way of naval funds. Let's have a look at what hulls we have access to. I think a battleship is well out. To be honest, I think even an armoured cruiser is well out of it. But this is quite a nice hull, the Light Cruiser 1. We could potentially make something reasonable on this. We're going to reduce the beam and the draft and the displacement. And we're going to go for 2,200 tons. Small. Nice small ship. 23 knots is reasonably fast. We're standard on everything else for now. Do have a cage mast. I'm not a huge fan of them. So we'll go with the standard towers. They're also a little bit cheaper. Significantly cheaper, actually. Which is a bonus. Okay. Main guns. 4s, 5s, 6s and 7s. Probably go for a 6-inch gun, fore and aft. It's not a lot of firepower, but it's something. Casemates, 3-inch. Okay. I'm sure we can make that work. And then I can either put one of them on, which seems foolish, or I can put, yeah, 3. Now, even with 3 funnels, we have terrible efficiency, but, you know, looks the part, I suppose. Yeah, no upgrades for anything. Torpedoes, probably do want torpedo tubes. At least in this area, we're going to want torpedo tubes. Oh, I'm overweight. Lovely. Now, I don't have anything other than black and brown powder. I have redone black and brown powder a little bit. They're now just flat the worst things you can possibly use, as they are the first things that you get access to. I am concerned about displacement here, though. We're going to be struggling. Right, we want to be armoured against our own guns, so that means 0.2. Well, actually, we should probably armour against 7, so that's 0.3. And against a secondary gun, 0.7. So I think an inch of 4.5 belt armour would be enough. Superstructure armour. For deck armour, I really don't think we have to worry about that. So that can be exceptionally minimal. In fact, just 0.2 everywhere. Main belt, 3-inch. Keep out a 6-inch gun. What about a 7? Yeah, we might want to up that later, but we are already overweight, so probably not. We'll go 4 on the tower, 4 on the turret, negligible on the turret top, 2 on the barbette, casemates, we'll go 3 and 0.2. Now then, we're going to have to reduce something. What about speed? Yeah, let's go down to 21 knots. Let's reduce the amount of coal on board. That's pretty much it, isn't it? That's not a lot of ship. It's really not. But it should get the job done that we need it to, which is having a navy. Okay, and then let's get a torpedo boat done. Again, we want these to be as small as possible. Go for 25 knots. Cheek tower. We're using 3-inch on the cruiser, so a little 3-inch pop gun makes sense to me. Funnels. Times 3. We're going to be relying on our torpedo boats quite a bit. No, let's just have the 2. We'll slow down a bit. I can have them forward facing, I guess. Yeah, because we're only going to get 2 for now. Let's slow down a little bit to 24 knots just to keep our engine efficiency nice and high, so that we have a little bit of operational range. I'm not expecting much out of these things. They're only going to be a single shot. 0.5 armor, which is the most you can give them. Even less on the tower. Turret gets nothing. And we're underweight. That's very promising. We could go maximum bulkheads to stop them blowing up immediately. Standard crew quarters and put more coal on them in the hopes that they actually get some missions. Yes, they're little, tiny little things, but they should be okay. Okay, let's have a little look at our budget again. We have in the bank 45 million. 45, by the way, 6.4 is 7. We could build 7 of these. Light cruisers. That's a little bit underwhelming, but it's not crazy. I probably only built 5, to be honest. 5 or 6. Let's build 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. So we get 6 of them. And then whatever money remains, which is 7 million, we can spend on torpedo boats. So probably 4 of them. Because we can build these as we go. I'll probably try and build up a few more torpedo boats. We only have 4 ports, so let's just make sure there's one in every port. And I'll let the game decide where everything else is going. They're reasonably sized ports, which is quite nice. They're all 47 or 43,000 tons. Busan is probably going to be our primary port because it's right here. Okay, that all seems fine. We're immediately going to up the transport cap to 100%. We're going to up the crew training to 50. I'll probably leave it there. And we're going to up the tech budget. How are we? Because I am going to want to expand that shipyard pretty urgently. Let's pull that back to 30%. 30 and 50. And how much is an expansion going to cost me? Oh, my boy. Oh, goodness. Nope, that's not affordable. So we might as well spend on what we can. Let's go like that. For now, we'll start the campaign and go to the first turn. We should get some money. And then the next thing we can do is set everybody to limited. Next is going to be going over to China. And I can't improve relations with China. Oh, I already did that. Well, we got. Do we have enough now, even for a very small expansion? Yes, we do. Okay, we'll do that. We'll go up to 6,500 tons because we're not really even able to build a sensible-sized armored cruiser yet. So. Yeah. How much is a torpedo boat per month? 250. I can just about afford that. Probably next month I'll be able to do that. I'm not going to assign any research priorities right now. I do tend to try and rush turbines at some point, but at the moment I just want to play it very safe, keep things very very minimal, and spend most of the money improving the economy and the shipyards and teching up. And I kind of just want the tech to go in a balanced way. But yeah, we can't even build an armoured cruiser at the moment, which is rough. Yes, survival is the name of the game. It would be lovely if we could build some sort of Eastern alliance, you know, China, Korea, Japan. That would be very interesting. But the reality is China and Japan hate each other and are probably going to go to war at some point. We want to stay decidedly neutral in that particular conflict. If China looks weak, they are an obvious target for us. Try and take the Ladon Peninsula in Manchuria. If Russia looks weak, we can go for them. We'll just have to see. Okay, good. Good. Operation Friends, or Operation Amigos. That's what we want. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So it's just Japan. We shall improve relations with Japan. Stay nice and neutral. However, I am going to order... Wait, how much spare money do I have? Yeah, enough for 2 more torpedo boats. Just so that our shipyards are busy. Well, I say busy. Not really busy. No one else seems to be investing in torpedo boats. That's probably because the AI couldn't build any. Brazil, interesting fleet structure. Just 3 battleships. Denmark's gone very heavy on the protected cruisers. Yeah, an armoured cruiser will be our next port of call, I think. Belgium's got a similar sized fleet to us. Yeah, nobody else is using torpedo boats. Just us. Oh, the British have torpedo boats because they had a player-built design, so they could actually make them. Dearie me. AI and your inability to build a torpedo boat. Spain. Spain could be interesting. What does Spain have? 10 armoured cruisers. Not ideal. But we're just going to have to sit back, relax, have some boba tea, and pray that nobody comes along and squishes us. Okay, things are happening. Spain and Portugal are the first 2 countries to go to war. We are, again, staying very, very neutral. Obviously, we took Portugal's side, so we'll need to apologise to Spain for, you know, taking a side. That's not very neutral of us. Right, let's have a look. Portugal has 3 armoured cruisers and 5 protected cruisers. Spain has 10 armoured cruisers and 9 protected cruisers. So I think Spain has the upper hand here. Yeah, and 3 times the economy. Hey, at least we don't have the world's smallest economy. That's something. We're about the same as Denmark currently. Otherwise, things going quite well. We've finished the expansion up to 6,500. Could I build 1,500 tons worth? Or 2,000 tons worth? Or a reasonable amount? Let's go for that much. We'll cut tech spending a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Okay. That's good. Now bring us up to 8,167 tons. I'm going to keep going until I get to probably 10 or maybe slightly higher than that, 1,000 tons. Because then we can build, you know, a reasonable sized armoured cruiser. Yeah, nothing much going on. Otherwise, we now have a reasonable number of torpedo boats. We'll end up with 10. So I have 6 predicted and 10 torpedo boats, which I think is a reasonable figure. I'll remember to tick that. There we go. A reasonable figure. We'll keep an eye on Spain versus Portugal. We'll see what happens, but otherwise things nice and quiet. All right, welcome back. Portugal seems to be doing okay. I don't know how many battles they've had with Spain. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a stalemate, to be honest. Project Amigos continues. Everybody is reasonably happy with this. Our transport cap is now maxed, which means we have money to spare on shipyard expansion. I say spare, but it's very expensive to do that. That'll catapult us up to 12,500 tons, which means we'll be able to build an armoured cruiser, which will be very nice indeed. Yes, that will be very nice indeed. Right, welcome back. A couple of things to mention. First of all, the US and Spain have gone to war, which is lovely. And the second thing to mention is there's actually this is actually the next day. I've not been feeling well lately, as many people will be aware. So I took a break recording, and I thought I'll just pick it up again tomorrow. And this looks very bad. This looks like ships have disappeared. I have sent the save over to the Duke, who will probably be able to figure out why that's happened. But they haven't actually disappeared. So Britain apparently has no fleet. But if you look over here, there is a fleet with 37,813 tons in it. So I don't know if this is a visual bug or what. And I know from experience that if you run into one of these, then it does have ships in it. Like, the ships are there, they exist in the save. I haven't gone poking into the save to have a look, but it's a weird one, and I'm not sure what's causing it. It feels like it might be just the game getting confused and not passing information correctly to the UI. But yeah, so don't worry about this. Britain does have stuff. We, however, have some negative relations going on. Oh yes, Chile and Argentina have gone to war with each other? Yeah, so we've got some relationship damage to deal with. I might stay negative with Spain, actually, but I don't want to go to war with Denmark or Chile. So we'll do some Project Amigos to get rid of that. I've not been building anything. I've just been trying to get this shipyard expansion complete so that we can build some cruisers. I'm wondering, triple expansions would be nice. I'm going to pop a oh, that's 96. Yeah, no, I'll wait another month, so I'm not trying to research tech that's quite far ahead. But yeah, we'll try and get some more engine tech done. Just because that will help us quite a bit, I think. Well, Spain continues to add to their enemies. Now they're fighting the Dutch. If you've been fighting, if you've been watching Stealth 17's Dutch campaign, he's done quite well against the Spanish. We are getting increasingly negative with the Spanish. I'm waiting for an event to fire that lets us go to war with them. The research is going quite well. Would you have Mark II 6-inch guns, which is a potentially interesting thing? I'm going to have a quick look. I wouldn't normally refit this early, but it might be potentially useful to do. We also get induced boilers. That'll help a lot. We don't have the upgraded engines or anything else really. But induced boilers does help an awful lot. Oh, we've got gun cotton and white powder. Okay, that also helps. Nothing there. But yeah, we can make those guns a little bit better. Some parts are proudly placed in red. Which parts, game? Which parts? Ah. The funnels. Not sure why. Oh, it's now telling me I'm not allowed 3 funnels. What? How very curious. Maybe that's what it was complaining about. Why is it telling me about funnels? Maybe that's related to the disappearing ships. Oh well, they're going to lose a funnel then. I don't have twin turrets, do I? No, I don't. Still, we get a lot of displacement back. Let's up our armour the ship to 6-inch main belt, which is the most we're allowed. Washing machine beeping. 4.2. My range has been improved simply by bringing the efficiency up. Yeah, I can't really afford much else. I like the extra armour. Cheeky little refit. I would love to refit them again once we get the engines and the improved 3-inch guns, bigger torpedoes and stuff like that. But given that we might be at war with Spain quite soon, I want to get those cruisers upgraded now, just so that they're a little bit more effective. That will cost me some money. Let's cut tech spending to 50%. I don't mind spending some of my reserve, but I don't want to spend all of it. Yeah, let's go for that. 64% on the shipyards. We're getting close to that armoured cruiser. Dearie me. Oh dear. Bad news for Chile. They've just been conquered. Right at the same time they get the Galapagos Islands. So Argentina is taking Chile, but Chile has run away to the Galapagos Islands. Oh dear. They also own Ecuador, but they're about to lose that to Argentina. Interesting. Oops, I left Discord open to talk bugs with the other guys, and I forgot to turn noises off. I'll go fix that in a moment. Refits are done, so we can re-energize the R&D department. There we go. 2 years to get the multiple expansion engines. But hopefully worth it. Let's see if things kick off with Spain or not. Not all going badly for Spain. They have conquered Portugal itself. That doesn't mean that Portugal will disappear because they have islands and stuff, but they have been booted off the Iberian Peninsula, which is good for Spain, not good for Portugal. We still haven't had an event trigger with the Spanish, but I am trying to keep an eye on them. Portugal does have East Timor down here, which we could go and nab. Potentially. What are you doing here? I don't know why China has sailed their fleet right next to our coast, as I think we're still pretty friendly with China, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Don't know what that's about. Okay, this one could be interesting. Russians and the Ottomans have gone to war with each other. We also get CPC shells. Very nice, very nice. Brazil is attacking Morocco for reasons. Where are we? Negative with the Russians. We don't want to take on Russia just yet. Let's start improving our relations with Russia. Yeah, Russia can just sweep through eastern Turkey in particular, is quite vulnerable. But we'll have to wait and see how the Ottomans do with that. How's this going for Brazil? Not great right now, though they do have a fleet that is big enough right here. Okay. Well, very annoyingly, I pressed the wrong button. We are at war with Spain. Japan did not like it, so I am trying to repair relations with them as a priority. Then we'll repair relations with Italy, Chile, and Greece, though they're a lower priority. I'm sending all the ships, includes the cruisers, which are now complete, down to Saipan. See if we can't get a cheeky little grab of these islands here. And then depending on what happens, we might try and get the Philippines as well. The Philippines are a little bit bigger, but they are doable. I don't think Spain has anything in the Pacific past the map fold. No, they don't. And they don't have anything over here in South America. So it is relatively limited for us. We're just looking to grab this group of islands down here, if we can. But we'll have to see how it goes. Spain picks up another enemy in Sweden. Okay. I also realised, when I was checking the recordings, when I realised that it had inverted what was recording and what was not, that you never got to see the design of the cruisers. So you're probably thinking, what the hell? So here they are. They are a 5,000-ton armoured cruiser armed with 8-inch guns. Not the best guns to pick, because you get the 9-inch Mark IIs quite quickly. But I had a lot of weight issues. I initially tried with 10-inch guns. That wasn't happening. Overall, though, they're not too bad. 7 inches main belt. All the mod cons I had access to, so nickel steel, a few other things. Standard bulk is 21 knots. They're not great, but they're fine for this early in the game. I would say they've got a 5-inch secondary battery. They're not terrible by any means, but yeah, they're not exactly like the really nice big cruisers that can kind of fill in for a battleship. Okay, so arrived here. We will start that invasion. Wonder if Spain even has the ships to spare to come get me. Northern Marianas, yes. I'm going to keep my fleet together, because if they come at me, I do want to have my fleet concentrated so we can deal with them. And in the meantime, I will be... Oh, I might be able to do a double invasion of Guam, actually. And in the meantime, I will try and improve the relations that we've damaged by going to war. Welcome back. The war with Spain continues. I had some trouble getting the Caroline Islands, and then I realised my fleet is only barely over 25,000 tons, and I'd put a couple of torpedo boats in the islands we captured. So that fixed. We should get the Caroline Islands. We already have the East Philippines. We'll go back. We'll take the West Philippines, and things should be good. However, things are heating up. Japan is at war with China. That's very significant for us. And Spain is basically at war with everybody. They're also allied to Japan, but of course they signed that alliance after we started our war, so we should be able to get around that. But I need to do some diplomacy and repair relations with Japan again. Yeah, there's a few countries that we're negative with that we don't really want to be negative with, ideally. But I shouldn't be invading for too much longer. We can go back to peace, and I can concentrate on that. But it'll be another 2 turns, 3 turns to sail over. Yeah, hopefully by kind of mid-1896 we should have wrapped this up. All right, we have peace with Spain. Lovely. They are having... oh, my goodness. There's so much going on. I will have a look at that in a minute. Oh, boy. Okay, we could take Guantanamo, Puerto Rico, or Equatorial Guinea. None of those are remotely sensible. However, they have 2 battleships. 10,000 tons, 13-inch guns. That would really screw them over. They're pretty slow. But then I wouldn't have to build them. Do you know what? We'll take them. We'll have a look at those in a minute. Cool. Right, the fleet should be back in port already, which means we can swap everything to limited. Pull this back to... I want it to be slightly positive. Oh my god. Oh, fine, 0. That'll do. We're overspending a little bit, probably because we picked up those battleships. I've deployed some stuff. We're a little bit low on torpedo boats. Oh, do I have a spare torpedo boat somewhere? No, we need more torpedo boats. But we do now have 2 battleships. The Emprendedor and the San Joakim. Interesting. Low fuel. Let's have a look at you. Wow, I hate them. Yeah. This needs... let's just get rid of all of that. Let's get rid of all of that. There we go. Get rid of all of that too. This makes them smaller, hilariously enough. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe just 0, 0. A mast. That is the cutest secondary tower in the world. Okay, so it's obviously designed for on echelon. We do have 9-inch Mark IIs, which are a tempting option, but I love me some bubble turrets. Those are too big. Oh, that's because the centres. I need side bubbles. Oh, the 12s are perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. They can actually fire each side as well on this hull, which is kind of cool. Yes. Okay. Cool. Casemates. It could go 5-inch, or I could go 3-inch. Let's go 3-inch and use Mark IIs. Oh yeah, I'll need a funnel or 2. Yes. Interesting. Yeah. Let's go an induced triple expansion engine. Ooh, hydraulic steering. We'll do this as a kind of a technology demonstrator, I guess. Yeah, let's rip off all the nonsense the Spanish put on. Carries a good number of torpedoes, actually. There's a funny little passageway to get from one side to the other. Can I get some 6-inch? 6-inch twins on. Yeah, can I fit one on the back? Oh, they're structural boats. Boo, hiss. What if I do... Oops. If I do that. Ha ha! Yeah, there we go. 12 6s and 3s. Lovely. This is a very strange ship. Oh my goodness. Can you fit 3-inch guns? You can. Oh, bless you. Right. Yeah, that... Ooh. Yeah, we can fit some extra 3-inch guns on. Just for fun. Nickel steel. This is a total rebuild at this point. Oh, I can show this off. So ballast, white powder and ballastite have been rebalanced. Ballastite is now, I think, superior to white powder. In most ways, it's slightly more likely to explode, but you're less likely to have a flash fire. A range fight. Wow, this thing had armor on it. Good grief, but it was basic iron plate, which is pretty shockingly crap. Right. We don't want to take a hit from our own 6-inch guns, so that we can pull that down to 4-inch. We don't need main belt armor that thick. I think 14-inch is fine. Deck armor of 1 inch. Yeah, do you know what? That's actually not insane. That's as thick as it's allowed to be. We don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Or that, really. Just keep cutting this. Here we go. Yeah, let's go 5.5. Okay, let's make 4.2. Oh wow, this had maximum range and maximum bulkheads. Goodness, let's go medium range. Starboard weight offset. I either get a port or a starboard weight offset. Lovely. The mounting points must not be perfectly mirrored. I'd like more speed. We could get 20 knots, but our efficiency is suffering. How about 18? Yeah, there we go. 18 knots works. Spacious crew quarters. Long range ship. Yeah, okay. I mean, as a coastal defense battleship, something that I often get asked to build, I can see these things working. It's got on-echelon turrets. That's certainly different for me. It's goofy. I kind of like it. I would normally hate this. But if you look at it, you've got 4 12-inch guns that can't really fire fore and aft, but you do get a 4-gun broadside at a very narrow angle. Not the best, but it'll do. We've got 6-inch guns that can fire on the broadside, 4 of them. We've got a ton of 3-inch for dealing with torpedo boats. And we have 3 torpedoes aside, which is actually quite good in this era. And I think this is a lot better than what the Spanish had. Sure. Wasn't expecting to get any battleships whatsoever, and now we have 2 of them. Lovely. And they'll be completely different from what the Spanish built, but that's fine. I'm going to spend that money because it's only 4 months that will be at the negative amount, I think. And we're looking pretty. But I did say I would show off what the hell was going on in the world. So let's start with Britain, because although it doesn't look like they have a big fleet, they do. They're nearly at war with Germany and Italy. Already at war with Spain and Japan and Argentina and Greece. And nearly Denmark. So that's fun. The US is at war with Germany and Japan and Spain and Argentina and Chile. And nearly Italy. Japan, who is obviously very close to me, who I'm trying to keep friendly. Nearly at war with... Well, is at war with Britain. Nearly at war with France. At war with the United States and Russia. And nearly Austria and China. And Brazil and Belgium and nearly Norway. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Who's China at war with? Japan, Spain, Chile. Nobody really big unless they go in against Germany. Interesting. Very interesting. We're going to stay well out of it. We've made a really good start grabbing these islands down here. That is lovely. Especially because the Philippines can generate oil later on in the game. That's really, really good for us. Really good for us. The next most obvious target would be to go for the Dutch. But they like us, so that's not happening anytime soon. We'll just have to keep an eye on these 3. Japan, Russia, and China. And see if we can spot any weakness. If we do end up at war with the Germans, this looks tasty, but I'd rather avoid them. I can't fully trust the readouts here, but I know that Germany does have a fleet, because I've seen it floating about. Yeah, it says they have nothing, but that's not true. They definitely have some ships. Ooh, Denmark. Oh dear, Denmark. You're in trouble. Let's see if we can spot a German fleet. There's usually one around somewhere. It was over here. I think they were trying to help the Spanish. Yeah, look at this. Russia breaking into eastern Turkey. China sailing somewhere. The Caribbean. Presumably to attack Spain. Well, things certainly getting interesting. And a good start. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.